you guys. So I am going to restart my 75 game, and I will explain what that is. It's something that I made based off of 75 hard, and I'm restarting because I have to add some new rules to my eating habits, because there's some that I've still been doing that are absolutely just making me feel awful, and I'm not doing well with them. And I thought they'd be fine, and they're not. I have a family, I have genetics in my family that are so intensively geared towards blood sugar issues and diabetes and PCOS, and that I have PCOS, and generally people that are, fairly active and try to be generally healthy don't have these issues, which I do try to be generally healthy. Always have, but the genetics are so strong that I actually still have these issues, and they're actually starting to get out of hand. Like, it's scaring me. So I have to live a certain kind of way of eating. I have to be very careful with what I eat. And there's some things that I was doing that just still weren't flying. I'm sorry about Cat. That cat will not shut up. He's gonna whine probably. So I have to add some things to the rules. So I'm restarting the 75 game. And if I'm telling you about it because I want to share it, and it would be fun to do it on here and to just talk about it on here and share that journey, and it would be cool to have people join me, even if they set their own rules, kind of. I mean, this is like I said, it is inspired by 75 hard. I definitely can't call 75 hard, but it is very inspired by it. So 75 days where I try to follow the rules of 75 hard. But usually if you screw up anything on 75 hard, you have to start right over from day one, okay? With this, I have the goal to accomplish it as much as possible perfect. And what I do is I'll write on the calendar, and I will just track what I did each day. So by the end of the 75 days, I see how good I did, with the goal to do the absolute best I can. I write down which days I do 75 medium, because I know I'm going to have 75 medium days because of my life being busy. But I'm always striving to hopefully get those 75 hard in. But I track, and at the end, you just see. It's a game because you're trying to do the absolute best you can, but you're not making yourself start over. However, if I really flop a day and I feel like I really broke the rules, I track those days, but I add a day to the challenge. If I really feel like it just fell completely flat and I broke rules I'm not supposed to break, it is a fail. Yeah, I'm just gonna add a day. And then I'm flexible with it, because for me, even though I've done that because that's what I wanted to do, I have literally decided I had enough crappy days and just felt discouraged about it that I want a fresh start. And I'm like, well, no, I'm actually just going to restart again. And that's what I'm doing now, because things haven't, I need to reset the rules for my eating and make a way better plan. It just felt good too. But the point is, you don't have to. And the thing is, adding a day is kind of like restarting anyway, because you have to make up that day. And they keep building the more you screw up. So it's kind of the same, but it's a flexible, but it gets you it gets you striving to want to do your absolute best no matter anyways. But there's some, it's not like a constant, like, just crash and burn, restart every few days, especially if you're really struggling. And it's more like you're practicing it. You're practicing to be able to do 75 hard perfect. So I'm doing my 75 game. And my food, artificial sweeteners are wrecking my health. I'm having problems from them really bad. And I'm eating too much I need to do like a ketovore. Ketovore is basically keto, but it's quite close to carnivore. Um, it closer to carnivore kind of keto. It's very low. It's very low carb keto, and I do this also because of my mental health. I have mental health struggles, and ketones, high ketones, which are hard to get unless you're eating very low carb or working out very hard all the time, are harder to get, but they are better for my mental health, which can get really bad by the way. I have definite struggles, and so this is very it works better for me than any of the medications I've tried, and I've tried a lot. And so so that's what I'm going to do, and I need to do that, and I'm going to do as much carnivore as close to basically carnivore, with just a few plant-based foods that are basically almost the zero carb realm, like chia seeds, flax seeds, some avocado, and so that's what's going to happen. And the processed food's going to be cut out, and the dairy's going to be lowered because of the PCOS and the gluten and artificial food, and so I have to do that. And because of I'm finding out really bad insulin resistance. I knew I had some, and so I've got to really change up to and make sure I'm intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is one of my rules, my absolute rules. Which it was a great lifestyle years ago when I did it. I actually did it consistently, and it was hard getting used to it first, but after you get used to it, it's like the rewards are fantastic, and I'm really itchy. Sorry. The rewards are fantastic once you get used to it. And not eating late at night is a big part of the fasting window, because insulin resistance does not do well with eating late at night. It makes it worse. It's if you have any. So yeah, I actually have some issues, despite, it's surprising, because despite my absolute desire, and passion towards health and fitness, I've been passionate about health and fitness forever, basically. And so I generally try to be pretty healthy, but I have my vices, and because of my genetics, my vices are more than too much. So I just have to do things differently. My body functions differently. It needs different things. And there's a lot of other people that do too, especially women PCOS. So I have to fast, and it has to be at least 16 hours, preferably 18. And I need to not eat at night. I need to not eat late. So I'm going to have some dark chocolate, but it has to be like a serving. I can't do a bunch of that either. And if I have like peanut butter and stuff, it needs to be, like, I overeat nuts, which are fine, but I just eat too many. So I'm going to stick to a serving of nuts. It's not like I said, that's not carnivore, but it could still help me stay ketovore, like kind of a ketovore, close to carnivore, if I just do a little bit. So that is it, and I know that's a lot to lay out, but if I am going to put this out there and start this, I want everyone to know exactly what it is, so I stay accountable. And if you choose to do this, you set firm lines in the sand, and you stay accountable to yourself. So that is the thing. And there might be other things that I forget, and maybe I'll try to tack them into a short if I want to tell you some more, because I do that. I'm very forgetful, and it's like, oh, I should have said that. But yeah, those are the rules. So hey, you should join me. Honestly, you should join me. And if you don't really know 75 hard, just go look it up, and there's an app for it. And then there's 75 medium. So you heard me talking about 70 medium, or some people call it 75 soft, but I think There's technically, medium's a little different, but they're technically the same. The point is you mark, you just keep track of what, like, I'll write on day one, knock off 75 squares on the calendar, and I'll say, okay, I accomplished this time. Or I wrote, alright, I got 75 medium accomplished today. Or I didn't do good any of it today, and the goal is just to do as good as you can and see at the end how perfectly you got. And the next time you do it, you try to beat it. So, yeah.